Dela's voice has been made possible by the generosity of sponsors like you. Every single person in this world has a story to share. Your story is your superpower, and it's unique to you. In sharing it with the world, you can impact millions of people. If you keep it to yourself, you are doing the world a disservice. This is Dela. I'm the host of Dela's Voice, and I help you share your superpower with the world. Hello, and welcome. Our education plays a huge role in the way we turn out in our lives. And yet, some of the most important lessons are not taught in school. We'll be right back. Welcome, everybody, to this Sunday's Candid Conversations with Dela. I'm so happy that I'm here with you once again. This is a fantastic time of the week for me because I get to spend the next hour with you and share with you some of my own experiences and hopefully hear from you on your experiences. And the things we talk about are some of the most common topics that almost everyone can relate to. What is one lesson that you wish you were taught in school? I tell you, this is my book. And in this book, I have written a lot of my life experience. And most of the lessons in that book are lessons that I learned, some of them the hard way, throughout my life, and thinking every single time that I wish this was taught in school. So, what are some things that you wish you were taught in school? When was the last time you noticed something and said to yourself, "Oh, why don't they teach this in school?" And so, that's a question I want to put out to you. What is it that you wish um, became a part of the school curriculum, along with geography and biology and math, which are really important subjects to learn, but some of the things that you wish that were taught in school that you realize now as an adult that are very, very beneficial? What are some of those things? I want to welcome every single one of you on this Candid Conversations. Thank you for spending the next hour with me. I want to encourage you to please accompany me with your comments. And later on during the show, you can actually call and participate via phone and let us hear your comments and your input and your experience. This is I think my intention of having today's topic is perhaps it's not a mere information, it's not a mere exchange of experience, but I'm hoping that this will cause something to happen. Maybe it'll stir up some sort of an action plan. It's not the first time that this topic has been talked about, obviously, but who knows? maybe someone who has a hand in education and changing the curriculum can do something and actually add some of these, what I think, the most important um, lessons into the school curriculum so that we can change our future generations' lives so that we can perhaps help them live better. And so that's my intention. So welcome to the show. I will check the comments, and I want to make sure that we say hi to every single one of you. So if you're watching this, please drop a line so that I can see you and say hello. So when I look back at my school years, and I grew up in Iran, and so I did until I want to say grade eight. I did in Iran, and we covered a lot of different subjects. So I can't exactly remember, but I'm thinking something ridiculous like 11 or 12 different subjects that we had to cover every single week. And, from learning how to read and write to math to geography to history to religion to um, art. So all these different subjects that we had to cover during the school year. What I don't remember at all is what I learned in math, what I learned in geography. Um, Most of the history I learned, I don't remember. And I'm wondering when the school curriculum is being planned and all these different subjects are being planned, exactly what is it that they are trying to teach the kids? Now, I'm not undermining um, the importance of every single subject. I'm positive that they are there for something important. What I'm wondering is how come when they teach a formula in math, we just memorize it and we being tested on our memory. And if you can remember the formula, you can just pluck in those numbers and find the right answer. Why not instead show us how that formula can be beneficial and actually work in real life situations? And so instead of spending so much time and effort and energy trying to memorize things that we will never actually know how to use, a more practical, um, I guess, way of teaching kids would be so much more beneficial. I think one of the most important lessons that should be taught in school has to do with life skills. And I don't know about you, but I don't know any school that teaches life skills. I didn't I didn't learn life skills when I was in school. Did you? Maybe some private schools or some institutions out there are more geared towards this more practical, um, I want to say, way of education. But I'm talking about the majority of public school system. And so correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we are missing something huge in our school system. So I went digging, and there's a lot of different articles, and there's a lot of different online help for, um, I think, more practical education. But I didn't go searching for self-education till very recent in my life. And I think most of it is because of the power of internet. Now everything is available on online. But that again has a little bit of a downside because what sources can you really trust? Because there's so much available information out there. And so if we're counting on our little kids to go searching for self-education, we are I don't think that's going to happen. And if it does happen, it's very risky. So what I'm saying is why not come up with real beneficial um, curriculum that teaches kids some uh, real practical life skills. That's what I want to see in the education system. Life skills. So, what are some of those life skills? I want to share with you a definition for life skills. According to WHO, life skills are a group of psychosocial competencies and interpersonal skills that help people make informed decisions, solve problems, think critically and creatively, communicate effectively, build healthy relationships, empathize with others, and cope with and manage their lives in a healthy and responsible manner. Now, did you learn any life skills in school? As a part of the curriculum, was there a class on how to build healthy relationships? Was there a class on communicate effectively? I am telling you, and I'm pretty sure that the majority of kids don't learn things like this unless the parents take the active role of teaching their kids. And those are some lucky kids. Most of us don't learn these skills. And why not? Why don't we teach this in school? Now, I want to go on a hunch here and say, um, I think educating kids is still following a very old fashioned sort of thinking. We want to raise our kids. We're educating our kids and teaching them the same way we have been teaching them for a very long time. Things have not changed. We're not updated, and so we're teaching kids um, in the hopes that they will graduate and they will go on to college and pursue educate, continue their education, and then get a job and blah blah blah. Empowerment is not a big part of this picture. We are not in the business of educating and raising empowered kids into adults. And I want to see a change in that. I really want the future generation to be more successful, more faster than me, earlier in life than me. So that's what I want to see. And so, what are some of those life skills? What are we talking about? So, if you have any comments on what life skills mean to you, please put them in the comments section. To me, life skills are things like time management, things like money management, things like communication skills. I don't know, positive self image development, um, self improvement. wait for it. Stress management. So, who should teach these things? Obviously, um, we can't expect all of these skills to be taught at home for so many different reasons. Because, first of all, kids spend most of their learning time in school. The time that, excuse me, they're most uh, prone to learning are spent in school. Second, a lot of parents themselves don't even have these skills. They weren't taught these skills. Parents are so busy putting food on the table and keeping a roof over their kids' head that they haven't had a chance to learn these things. They haven't had the chance to go look and see what life skills are. So imagine these young kids graduating from school, even if it's with excellent scores, right, in the academics, but they don't know the first thing about coping with reality. So what happens? They get out of school. They can't communicate well with others. They can't even handle money issues. And they end up being most of the time in debt, stressed, dealing with self esteem issues, and looking for help in drugs and alcohol. I'm not saying this is what most people end up. I'm just saying this is what happens. This is very alarming and it's very common. Um, I really think that parents and teachers should play a role hand in hand together to make this happen. Um, so, as far as the schools are concerned, this means teaching a little more than algebra and biology, um, and teaching a little bit more of necessary life skills. Now, why is teaching life skills in school so critical? First of all, we want to improve our mental well-being. It it's so important, don't you think? Such a big important part of our lives. So what are we talking about? How about self-awareness and mental health? Self-awareness. Okay. That word to me was so new. I had no clue what that meant. As far as I was concerned, um, I was just going on autopilot. Self awareness, I had to learn that the hard way. So, do you know that um, this is a statistics? So, I'm giving you statistics here. A study done by the American Psychological Association found that teens' average stress level was 5.8 on a 10-point scale. This is much higher than the maximum healthy stress level for adults of 3.9. That's really, really alarming. If we become more aware of this, we become more equipped to handle um, what they're going through, what we're going through, and we recognize that we need help. And this can go far. Um, think about an average high school student. What sort of a life are they living? Um, So you've got all these responsibilities, right, to deal with between juggling homework, those extracurricular activities. Some of them have a job. They're trying to maintain a social life. And a lot of these kids also have family problems. It's too much, too much. How about self esteem? And I mean, back in the day, the most I had to put up with was picture of a perfect girl on a magazine. And now it's everywhere. Now with the social media, it's impossible to keep um, a healthy self-esteem for kids. Think about this. These young people are being bombarded with all these flawless images everywhere, um, that are impossible to compete with. And, they don't want to miss out. Imagine the mental turmoil of this. Now, I don't know about you, but that's really scary. And you know what we do? We judge them because oh, they don't know, they're spending most of their time on social media. So, um they don't know how to communicate. They don't know how to talk to one another. We forget um who I'm sorry, who did this? Who's responsible for this technology? We can blame and we can point fingers and we can judge, but we don't take responsibility for our own part. And I think a big part of our responsibility is to do everything we can so that what we know are the most important lessons in life start being taught in school at a young age. Um, Healthy mental health is huge. It's huge. Why aren't we teaching our kids how to manage their stress level? Why not teach them how to be mindful? Oh my goodness. Okay, can imagine. I'm thinking, what if someone had taught me when I was 7, 8 to sit quietly for 5 minutes and meditate? Why don't we teach that? Um, I've seen the benefits of meditation only in the past 2, 3 years of my life. What about you? When did you learn this? I mean, were you that lucky that your mom was a meditation hippie and she taught you? Um, I don't know. You were lucky. Now, another really, really important life skill to me is financial literacy. And I think I've seen that as a comment in so many places from so many different people. Um, we're not taught that in school. And I think it's such an important part of life. My own experience with this, coming out of high school, I went to university, first year university. They offered me a student credit card. I was so happy to have that credit card. Nobody ever taught me how to use a credit card. I didn't know how to use a credit card. And so I maxed out that credit card in so fast that it would spin your head. And I didn't pay it off for a very long time. I cannot imagine um, how much money I ended up paying to pay off that $500 debt. This is going years ago. But I cringe at this, at the thought that how many kids are so oblivious to this fact. And so I think financial literacy has to be a part of the school curriculum. I'm going to take a moment here. I'm going to take a break and go to the comments section and see what you got to say. And please know that the lines are open and you can call the show at any time. I'm going to display the phone number here. Call the show and participate. What is it that you wish you were taught in school? And maybe you were taught something in school and has benefited you. And I mean, I do want to go back to a couple of things I learned as a kid that became really, really helpful. But let me go to the comment section and see what's there. First of all, I want to mention all the names that are here. My mama, Farida's here. Deborah, my friend, love you, girl. Thank you. Deborah says, I wish there could be more focus on health and wellness through food and natural methods. Wow. Yes. Imagine that. Imagine as a kid learning all about nutrition and what your body's capable of and how your body can heal itself through healthy living and healthy eating. And imagine if that was taught in school, uh, the ripple effect, right? This improved self-image and just overall health benefits. I'm gonna get this phone 1 second. Hello, Stephen. You're on Candid Conversations. Hello? Oh, hang on.
Hello?
Hi. Hello, Stephen. You're on Candid Conversations.
Are we still there?
We are, my friend. We
Okay.
are. Oh, hang on. Hello. Hi. Stephen, I think there's an echo. Is that maybe mute the show if you're watching the show
Yeah,
at the same time?
that's on me. That's on me. Sorry.
No worries. Take your time.
Okay, that should do it.
Yeah, we're good. Okay, my friend. Are you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So what do you think of this topic, Stephen? What's one
I think
thing
it's
you
a really
wish you
good
were
topic.
taught? Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, realistically, I mean, for me, I was not a really good student. I mean, I started getting in trouble a lot in high school, so I don't know how much I would have learned regardless of it. I mean, if I'd actually stayed in classes and did like I was supposed to do, budgeting would have been a really good idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I was having too much fun playing around. So I mean, I actually got to the point where I was getting in trouble, and I was actually getting suspended because I was skipping.
I hear you. But I think this is my take, Stephen, and I don't know where you stand on this. I really think that waiting till high school to teach things like this is a little too late. I think they need to start in elementary school. Uh, that's
Yeah,
my thinking.
I would agree. I'd go along with that. Absolutely.
Hmm. So, what other things do you think? And if you could pick other than budgeting, what's another thing you think you would have benefited from if they started teaching it in grade school?
Well, I know, like when I heard comments from Deborah was talking about, health and fitness would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I know that most schools have like a PE class of some type, but everyone I was ever in, I don't remember them really going into a whole lot of detail about stuff like that.
So my question to you is, why do you think this is not a part of the school curriculum?
It's just too many cultural differences and stuff like that, and too many people that don't want someone else telling their child how to live. And so they want, you just run into that kind of argument. And there's no way for a school to take every family into consideration and not upset somebody and have a big fight going on.
Hmm. Well, I mean, you may be right. But if as a parent you disagree for your kid to learn how to take control of their emotions, then you got some sort of a problem.
Well, I wouldn't argue against that.
Yeah. I think we could benefit from so much, from so many different life skills that even if you take into consideration the cultural differences, I mean, we're not talking about teaching a religion here. We're talking about life skills
Right.
that are, I think, pretty much universal. So, Stephen, any idea how we can make this happen?
Nothing off the top of my head, no.
Well, my friend, I want to thank you, first of all, for calling the show.
Well, absolutely.
And, I think one way would be to keep this conversation going.
That'd be a good start.
Yes. Yes. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for taking the call.
Of course. Next time. Till next time, Stephen.
Yes, ma'am.
Have a good day.
Will do. Take care.
Thanks. Um, I read somewhere that teaching the Bible should be uh, one of the top. Seriously, this was actually among one of the 20 top life skills taught in school. Now, I can see how a lot of people would be intimidated by this. I want to put it out there that that I'm not Christian, and um, for a long time, I always thought the Bible, Christianity, Bible, Jesus Christ. And so I never thought of the Bible as one of the biggest teachers of life skills. I'm not kidding with you. Just hang in there, okay? I want to talk about this a little bit. Now, of course, teaching the Bible is not going to be a part of the school curriculum. I don't think it will be because obviously they want to keep the state and religion separate, which I agree with tremendously. But if we can look at the Bible a little deeper, we can realize that there are so many life lessons taught in the Bible. There are so many life skills taught in the Bible. And this is where I'm coming from. I used to be really, really closed to this idea of, oh, don't talk to me about the Bible. And then I started on this path of self-development. And I'm telling you, every teacher out there is quoting the Bible, not because they're coming at it from a religious point of view, but because there are so many good lessons in the Bible. And I'm sure it's the same in all of the books that are being followed by all the different religions. What I'm saying is we got to be open to all these ideas. And so I get it that there's going to be pushback on some stuff from some families. But I think What I'm talking about here is more of universal life lessons, life skills. And so let's hear from you. Um, what do you think? Let me go back to the comments and see what else is there. Um, yes, definitely. Financial is coming up a lot. Financial education. To Mohammed says, I mean, to learn how to earn money creatively. I think that's what you said, create to creativity. So this is definitely, I mean, one of those things, right? Like to earn, how to earn money. Well, see, like nobody teaches us that, right? Nobody teaches us to become entrepreneurs in school. I kid you not. We learn, and I think this is a little kid's dream. Is what are you going to be when you grow up? Um, you think about what is it? What was it that you were going to do when you grew up? Follow career, find a path, get a job, have a family. Um, I think our minds are so open when we are kids. And so, if we're going to empower individuals and have them become really amazing, powerful members of society, we need to allow them to grow out of that employee mentality. I think that's a really great thing to learn. Deborah says, my second thing would be teaching more about um, what disabilities are out in the world and why people may be different. Yes, teaching about differences, you know, learning about compassion, kindness, um, acceptance. My gosh, so many. My friend Betty's here. Um, Also, let me see what else. Mohammed says multiple intelligences should be included in the curriculum to care for all students. Life skills are not taught in school. Multiple intelligences should be included in curriculum. So I think what you mean is that um, to bring in outside um, agencies, maybe. I get it. Because I mean, our teachers, if you're a teacher out there, my hat is off to you. I swear I have so much respect for you, for everything you do, especially for the past year and a half, how you've had to pivot and you've had to learn this new way of teaching. And I cannot imagine the stress that you must be going through. I sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, I am grateful to you. So I get it that we need to we need to include outside sources. There are people who are fantastic at teaching all these life skills, who run agencies and um, who run workshops. If you go online right now and search all these different aspects and a special education, life skill educations for kids, you'll see how many agencies there are. To be able to employ those agencies by the education system would be such a great collaboration. Deborah says, I agree 100%. They should teach more common sense, less content. Right? Ah, yes, yes, yes. We don't teach common sense in school. We think that it should just be natural. And then later we complain, oh, common sense is not such a common thing. Why not? You it's as if you need to get older, um, get hurt over and over and over and over in life to in order to learn these things. Why can't we fix this? um Steven says, how about as parents, teaching our kids the things we wish we had been told before having our own. So many things, hard to pinpoint. I agree with you, Stephen. Okay, so I am not putting all this on the education system. I think I mentioned before that parents and schools should work together. But do you agree that kids in when they are in at school age, they spend most of their learning time in school, and most parents don't even know themselves these things, and so we gotta start somewhere. I think that's all I'm saying. We have to start somewhere, and you're right. As parents, we need to become more aware. Um, Let me see. What else? What else? Henrik is here, my friend. Thank you for being here. Mohammed says responsibility, caring, sharing, citizenship, and honesty should also be taught in school. Oh my gosh. So many of these things we don't. I mean, there's no formula for caring and sharing and kindness and honesty, integrity. There are no formulas for kids to memorize. And so, um, as educators, they have to work harder to teach kids because it would have to be taught to them in practical modalities. They can't just give textbooks and assign quizzes and tests. I really believe that there need to be a practical format for to practice all of these things. Think of how you learn these things, right? As an adult, I attended workshops where I got to practice and share um, and hear other people's experience. So important. Deborah says a child's confidence is taught and must begin at home with what they see and hear around them. My mama always used to look in the mirror, in any mirror, and say, "Wow, who's that beautiful, sexy lady? She did this till she passed at 64 years old. That's why I feel I'm so confident today." Wow, Deborah. Wow, my friend, you were so lucky. You know, you were probably one of the luckiest kids in the world because your mom had such an awareness. I wish I wish, but I think this is not a realistic wish because a lot of those parents are hurt themselves. A lot of those parents have not learned this. So we start today, right now. If you're a parent of a little kid, um, start right now. And if you need to learn yourself, then go ahead and learn um, and start teaching your kids those life skills. And imagine the ripple effect. Your kid, as an empowered individual, will be an example for other kids to live by. And who knows, maybe one day soon this will become a part of every single school. They'll have a self esteem class. What? Amazing. Betty says we need to teach them how to be caring, how to take responsibility of their own actions. Instead of being competitive, be caring and thoughtful. She also thinks that time management, soft skills, communication, efficiency. Oh my God, all those are so important. But I want to go back to what you said about how to take responsibility of their own action. And that had meant nothing to me. I'm telling you, it's in this book, taking responsibilities for my own action. Um, I grew up in an alcoholic home, and I lived a life of uncertainty till I left that home, and then I immigrated to two different countries across two continents. So it was not a life filled with certainty. It was, you know. for the most part of my growing up years when I lived at home around my dad, I used to walk on eggshells because you never knew what was coming next. So, I learned, um, on my own that I needed to take control of everything around me, and of course, not knowing that there was a lot of stuff that I couldn't control. But because of that uncertainty around me, I wanted to hang on to that control. And I grew up like that. And growing up with that urge to control everything and everybody around me was very um, hard to get over because what it meant was, um, if I wasn't in control, then I was no good. So I learned the hard way. I learned later, much later in life, the serenity prayer. And I keep mentioning this because it's like the biggest lesson I've learned, and I can remember it and I say it all the time because it's a constant reminder that I'm not in control of everything, that I am only in control of certain things. And those things that I can control and change, um, ultimately are my responsibility. And so learning about personal responsibility has been one of the biggest lessons for me. Which I wish I had learned as a kid. Emotional intelligence is also of great importance. I mean, how one can control his or her emotions. Absolutely. Controlling your emotions. Wow. Can you imagine? Um, that can go far. I mean, that's the start of so many things. That's the start of so much power. It's being able to control your emotions. Imagine um, all the bullying that goes on in schools. Imagine if you have a kid who can control his or her emotions, and um, how many problems can be solved just by that? Stephen says, personally, I love to see the Bible allowed back in the classrooms. Um, yeah, you never know. You never know. I mean, parents can opt out, I guess. That could be possibility. But the Bible is that like the most the world's bestseller book ever written? I think. I mean, it teaches everything in the past 2,000 years. So I think that's a pretty safe book to bet on. Jack says self development is one of the most crucial subjects to teach in school. Personal growth. Oh my! Imagine instead of me waiting 45 years of my life to start on this path, I had started when I was 6. Oh, what a different world this would be. Stephen says, my work ethic came from my grandfather. Things like, if I'm just on time, I'm late. Always give your best effort when someone is paying you. That's a good lesson. I like that. If you're on time, you're late. Yes. So I had a teacher who said, if you're not 5 minutes early, you're late. um, Stephen also says, as I got older, my common sense As I got older, common sense doesn't mean the same from one person to another. Yeah, I think that's another show. I think we need to do a show on what is common sense. Anyways, um, Deborah says she's trying to ring, but it just keeps ringing. Let me see. Where are you calling, Deborah? Are you calling me on Messenger? I definitely want to catch you. So let me see. That's bizarre because I was able to hear Steven's call. I'm gonna call you on Messenger, Deborah. If you can hear this, answer your phone. Here we go. I'm dialing you. Oh, WhatsApp. Oh, yes. I know why. Because I don't have. Hang on. Oh, there she is. Hi, you're on Candid Conversations, my friend.
Hi, my beautiful friend. I was
Hey.
calling on WhatsApp. It's always
Yes,
a hit or miss on that.
a little technical difficulty on WhatsApp today. I'm so sorry.
Well, another good show, another incredible topic. I absolutely love this one too.
Thank you. Thank you.
So good.
So
But
I always love to hear from you, Deborah.
thank you. And I love to kind of throw in a little 2 cents because, there's so many different things we can learn from each other. And what's so funny is growing up, my mom and dad, their home was the hub for all the neighborhood kids. And I always think, well, what was different? As you get older and you get, in college years, you wonder, well, what was the attraction? And you start learning and realizing. For me, is what I was taught on a daily basis was I was able to be me, but I was also taught things that stayed with me for life, which was understanding people. My dad was American with Indian background, and my mom was from Rome, Italy. And so I learned the difference in cultures, but I also learned the importance of being a kind human being and accepting who you were. But also, the reason I say about learning health is that my family would answer our questions when it came to, I would always say, why do I have to eat that green thing? Most parents will say, because it's good for you. My mom would take the time to show me where in the body it would help me, what it would build, what calcium did, what protein did. And my dad would show me, how he could work better, longer, because he had certain foods in his body and that were natural fuel. So I would have loved to seen that taught in school, because what happens is these young kids have no idea of anything, why things are good for them. They just say, well, eat it, it's good for you. Why is it good for you?
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I was saying. But it's so important because at that age is when our bodies are getting ready who we're going to be health wise. You can start beating and conquering diabetes or cholesterol issues. They all start way back then. People don't realize how young. And that's just such an important topic, along with everything you guys talked about today, all, financially and acceptance and common sense. But nutrition is just, we're not taught that.
No.
We're not taught that. And even my frustration over this whole last 2 years with this corona is, we're told, take this vaccine and this is what's will help you, but nobody is taught how to boost your immune system.
Mm-hmm.
So to me, me, 40 years as a nurse, the importance of knowing what we're feeding our body, not just, the mental part of trying to stay focused and calm and confident and accepting, but you need to fuel your body. I mean, what we feed our body is what is going to fuel our bodies.
Yes, you are what you eat, Deborah.
You are absolutely. And then the second thing, real quick, I had said was about acceptance of differences. I've seen families and children that were told, don't look at them, if somebody's different. No, I taught my children, you go talk to them, say hi, ask them why they're in a wheelchair, ask them, because learning as an adult, I knew that people that are disabled, they don't want you staring at them and walking away from them. They want to communicate with you. They'd love to tell you their story so you could understand. And I think that needs to be taught a lot too, because in school, there's so many kids I knew that were disabled, and it was sad to see them get teased, and the school system itself wouldn't stop it. I think they didn't know themselves how to
Mhm.
stop it,
Yeah.
what to do.
Yeah, so true. Deborah, you mentioned some really great points. I mean, I want to take a moment and go back to what you said about our immune system. And I want to thank you for bringing this up because you've been in the health profession for a very long time. And so, yes, you're right. Why aren't we talking more about boosting our immune system? I mean, that is our personal responsibility, and our
Mhm.
bodies are so strong, and our bodies are so smart, and we really need to trust that we can help ourselves if we are
Uh,
a little bit more educated in this area.
Absolutely, and a little bit of knowledge goes so
Yes.
far, and just the basics, the ABCs of your health.
Yeah.
Importance of sleep, importance of what you eat, and
And stress
just
management.
stress management. Absolutely,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I always say, give your body what it needs and watch what it does,
So good.
and it's so true. I wish more children would be taught that, because I think from health, and whether it's mental health, physical health, it all builds into the confidence of a child when they
Absolutely.
feel good, you know.
Absolutely. So how do we do this, Deborah?
Oh, I would love to start something to help do this, because such simple steps would go so far in the school system. We're missing the mark on some of the most important simple foundations. When you build a child up, you got to have a solid foundation. If your health, physical and mental, isn't strong, you're going to fall. You're going to crumble somewhere, whether it's diabetes, whether it's suicidal, whether it's drug addiction, whether it's a lot of mental illnesses begin because kids are not sleeping, and they're not sleeping because they have poor nutrition. So, oh my gosh, we could write a book on that.
We could, and I mean, I think talking about it, starting a conversation is first place to
Yes.
start, but continuing this conversation and just sharing the heck out of talks like this, and
Yes.
just if you're a person like I know Deborah, you are so active and so powerful in sharing and your knowledge with other people, and so I want to encourage everybody who has a platform like this to start this conversation and just keep keep building on it, continuing, and one day something will happen where school kids will go to school and learn everything from yes, math and science to um, how to take care of their health and how to take care
Yeah,
of their mental health. And
absolutely. I'd love to see every school have a garden. Seriously,
mhm,
and teach children, show them from the ground up what they use. They'll become. I was raised with a lot of neighbors and friends that were hippies, and I think that's where my passion for natural medicine and that
yes.
I grew up as I watched how healthy they were, and their hair was always shiny, and they had beautiful nails, and as a kid, I knew that that was important. Don't ask me why. I think it was just But and then of course the confidence of my beautiful mama. So many times when we became adults, I would say to her, let me take you here, let's change your hair color, do you want to get Botox, do you want to try this? And my mom always would say, I am beautiful the way I am, why would I change a
Right.
beautiful thing on my face? And
Yes.
I love that confidence, and I'd love to see more people kind of latch on to that natural self-love,
I
let's put
love
it.
that. I love that.
Yeah.
And you know what, Deb? We can't tackle everything at the same time, but we can certainly start somewhere, small. And first and all it takes is that first step. And
Yeah.
um, what is that saying? The journey to what was that? Starts with one step.
One step. Yeah.
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 Yeah, I
Yeah.
can't remember that quote, but yes, it's wonderful.
I know. I can't remember it either. But that's why I love your topics, because you're opening up doors of such simple topics, but such powerful, needed topics. So thank you, Della, for what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Deborah. Thank you so much, my friend. Have a blessed day. And it's always, always wonderful to hear from you.
And you, everybody who's on here, have an amazing Thanksgiving if we don't talk to you
Oh,
sooner.
yes. Happy American Thanksgiving.
You got it. Take care.
Bye, darling.
Bye-bye. Love
Bye.
you.
Love you. So wonderful. Yes. So, yes. So it starts with one step. Just one step. And I mean, always, as always, everything starts with an idea. And so if we all collectively want to do this, want to see a change in our schools and the stuff that the kids are being taught, this is what I want to say. This is a universal um, concern. All our kids. These are the ones who are going to continue this life. Our survival depends on them. And so these are life skills that are going to make them more empowered. This world needs more empowered individuals, not more dependent individuals, not more sadness, not more people suffering and struggling with mental health problems, not more addiction, not more fights, not more arguments, not more hatred, not more injustice. Where does that start? Way at the bottom, way at the base. And so, wow, my intention was to start a conversation today. And I think we did that. So I want to thank every single one of you for being here today. And thank you for spending the past hour with me. I think I'm getting emotional. Oh, what else is new? Learning to keep my emotions in check. Thanks again for being here today. And I hope you have a blessed rest of your Sunday. Thank you for every single one of you who participated. Thank you for calling the show and sharing your experiences with me. And I hope this candid conversation with Dela's voice was able to spark your soul, spark a conversation. Until next time, bye everyone. Dela's voice has been made possible by the generosity of sponsors like you.